Get something to eat, man.
Okay. I'll bring back the CromCon cup that I have too.
Okay.
Man, just bring back whatever you want.
Exactly.
Just go get it done.
Yeah. Go get something to eat because we're set over here.
All right, a show without a host.
This is awesome.
What do we do? What do we do?
We do have you're a host of a podcast. I'm a co-host of. And Pops Van Zant. This is the first time I've met you.
I've never met him either. This is a big deal for us. We can't hear you because you're muted.
I think you're muted.
Still muted.
You're still muted, Pops.
This is really entertaining, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. My munchkin. All right.
Cool.
I'm a fan.
You're a fan,
I'm
okay.
not a creator. I'm not a world builder. I'm not a Comic-Con organizer.
Uh-huh.
None of that. That all just happened to me.
Right.
Because of, what happened to the industry.
Mm-hmm.
All my friends' tables got shut down.
Right.
Yeah.
But, what can I do to help my friends? I started doing the cons. That's all.
Okay.
It wasn't like I was nobody, man. So I get really weird when people are like, "Oh, it's an honor to meet you." No, it's not. You want to meet somebody? It's an honor to meet the guy who's doing this.
Okay.
Corey Dwayne Ellis. That's somebody that's that's what I'm talking about. I promote all you guys. The reason I wanted to come out on this show, though, was to give a fan's perspective of what we want in world building.
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
And that's going to be helpful.
It's like, because all of my favorite authors, all my favorite writers have stuff with legs.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay? Like, I'm a big Star Wars EU fan. I don't care what anybody says. They took that thing to the extreme. There are planets, there are races, there are individual squabbles between peoples all over the place.
Yeah.
It was like they really did something real with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Tolkien, although he started too late in his life, just think if he'd have started really early publishing books, how much had out.
Look what he did, though.
Yeah, just in that time,
That's what I'm saying. It's like you got all the lost tales and stuff that everybody else pieced together. Can you imagine if he got to write all that stuff himself?
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
See what I'm saying? That's world building. That dude had done it. Frank Herbert, another one, Dune, man, and Kevin Anderson and his son are just tearing that up and making that bigger and bigger. Yeah. That's what I want, something that's going to last my whole life.
Exactly.
I'm going to keep getting new content. I'm gonna get to live this all my life. Star Wars came out when I was 13, man. Okay. When I was 13,
I was a twinkle in somebody's eye.
I wasn't even that.
To enjoy that my whole life, And trust me, when Star Wars came out, the best we had seen was Star Trek.
Yeah.
Okay, the TV show, the phaser. That was the best we hadn't seen special effects like that. We hadn't seen anything like that. That blew us away.
Yeah.
And like I said, if for me, over 200 books in the universe that I've read. Yeah. That's crazy that it's that big and that that's what I'm talking about. Legs, man. If you got legs, if you got something that's gonna keep me interested all my life, that's world building.
Yep. They pretty much built the sandbox that everybody can play in.
For sure.
Like it's massive, like you were saying, all the planets, all the different factions, and then people come in, and it's because the world is so massive, they can create their stuff just to make it fit in there. And it works.
And across multiple mediums.
Yep, and multiple mediums, movies, shows, novels, cartoons, comics. I actually have the Star Wars, the comic versions of A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, and A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back. I actually have that back there. And it's pretty awesome.
I got some old,
read the wall. I'm a
newspaper
collector.
articles.
I got it all.
Those are pretty dope. My parents found them for me somewhere at some like thrift shop, and it was just a bunch of the newspapers when those movies came out.
Yeah.
So I held on to them.
Yep.
Good friend of ours gave my son Star Wars #1, the comic. Like 5 or 6 years ago. Just give it to him.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Here you go. Put it away. College payment later.
I mean, he's 30. He ain't going to college.
I got my MBA at 30 something, 30 plus.
He makes enough here.
There you go.
Dude, I got my master's and don't do a dang thing.
More. He's doing fine.
So you got yours too?
Yeah, I got my master's and don't do a dang thing with it.
Exactly. That's the reason why I had to think, man. Like whenever I started my bachelor's, I was going for art, and then I'm like, dude, you draw every day. Why are you going for an art degree? So I changed it to business because I'm running my comics. I'm like, I need to learn business. So it helps, even though I don't have like a marketing gig or business development gig with a corporation. I'm still using those information for my business. So that part helps. My IT knowledge is just 20 years of breaking and fixing computers. So, so you can't go wrong with that. So, but
I was one of them underprivileged people that went to school for DOS. Okay, it was obsolete when I graduated.
Yep.
Windows came out while I was at school.
Oh man,
wasted. But the business part of it, I went to Arizona Institute of Business Technology. The business part of it was all good.
There you go.
I learned all that. So but all the tech I learned was useless when I graduated.
Yeah. That's the wild part about IT. I know when I step out of it finally, when these comics are doing well, and I'm just like, bye-bye IT, I'm going to have to retrain everything. Like if you're gone for a year now, if you're out of it for a year, you just start over. Just start relearning. But I guess I'll introduce myself next. So Tyr Jackson, Tyr, owner of Sovereign Comics, co-host of Broadcast from the Dispatch, all around. I think I'm a nice guy. Aaron's met me. Greg knows me. Am I a nice guy? I think I'm a nice guy. Man. I'm all right. See, hey, I'll take that. Right now I have about 5 titles that are out. Temple High, Cypher Team, Stars, Yamo Stigmata, Orisha Exos, and eight comics in between all 5. We're working on 9 and 10 right now. Pretty much trying to get everything to 2 issues and then jump on these 3 issues. So I just got to get Temple High and Stars issue 2 done, and then I can go 3 issues with everything else. So fun time, growing and world building, which is what our combo is about.
Freaking right.
So
yeah, I'm the Count of Monte Cristo. Can you guys hear me? Just making sure my mic's working. Okay. So I'm Aaron, and I host Beards Comics podcast, and then I'm also co-owner of Catalyst Comics Studio. We have a bunch of books out that span across superheroes, and just launched our horror book earlier this year, which was Welcome to Everville. People might know us for Tilt and Paradigm. Tilt just finished up its Kickstarter for the 3rd issue, so we're getting ready to ship all that out whenever the actual books come in. Everything else is in, so it's ready to go. And then moving on, and next year we are launching an espionage story, and then revisiting some. You know about that one.
Yeah.
And then
can't wait to read that.
Then we're gonna wrap up Tilt's first story arc with Tilt 4.
Nice.
We do span across a couple different mediums as well. There's some short stories that are set in the Catalyst Comics superhero universe, and when I say short story, I mean prose, not just little 5-pagers or anything like that. I think that's everything. Sounds about right.
That's a dope approach too, right there. That's a dope approach, doing the short stories and melding it into the comic book world.
Well, I have to wait for art to get done.
Yeah,
I work on that, and it's another medium for me to write, and it's world building. Yeah,
it is. It is. That's the cool thing about world building. You can all these different mediums and all this different stuff you can do, and amazing things. Just like I know for me, like I know I said on the panel earlier with my world building, which I know you know this. Well, Greg knows too, but like everything in the Sovereign Comics universe started with 2 characters, and this just started building from there. Everything around them and stuff like that. To where even recently, with my character from Yamo Stigmata, the protagonist, in a sense, he was kind of detached from the rest of the world because he's coming out of World War II. You know, he slung shot to the other side of the galaxy and everything like that by a Foo Fighter during World War II. So he was kind of detached. So for me to like continue to build that world and bring that connection, because eventually, you know, he's gonna, you know, just like any space story, you know, when somebody's lost in space, they eventually find their way home. The question of whether they stay or not is, you know, totally up to them, or how, you know. But I was thinking too, I was like, man, how could I connect this? You know, because all of my titles have some form of connection, some way, shape, or form. And I found a way how to connect it, which is going to be pretty cool. I'll just say that he's not related to this character in Temple High. However, this character is a descendant of the woman that he loved before he got transported out. So, or not transported out, but before he got slung shot to the other side of the universe. So when he does come back, he ends up running across this character and he sees her in her. So it kind of brings that homage that kind of connects him, because I was like, he feels missing. Like he feels like he's not connected to the tissue. But yeah, even with that, with space, like Pops was saying earlier with Star Wars, man, that's a sandbox in its own when you start dealing with space, because you can just do whatever you want to help to expand your worlds and everything, or your universe and all that other stuff. It's really interesting. It's enjoyable. I will tell people to take your time. Don't rush it, because you don't know. Just like I just explained what just happened. That idea came to me years later after I created Tuskegee, you know, because I never knew how I would bring him in. Right. Then that idea came, and I was like, "Oh wow, that's not a bad idea," you know. And I talked it over with some of our friends and stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh wow, that's dope," you know, just to connect him a little bit. That world building, so it's almost like he still has that connection to home in a sense, even though he's not there. But take your time with world building. Like, don't rush it.
For sure, don't rush it,
because you take your time. You never know what might come out. Allow yourself to be pliable, I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Like mendable, there you go. Because you might have an idea, but then as you're writing and going, like we were saying earlier, as you're writing and going, that idea might change, or something might come up to where it's like, oh, that doesn't work out. And I've had that happen a couple of times where I'm just writing something, I'm like, oh, well, it'd be dumb if they did it this way, or it'd be dumb if it connects this way, you know. And you gotta switch it around, you know.
I try not to throw stuff out when I'm brainstorming. If there's extra notes, I throw it to the side because I might use it. And have used it. That's the entire creation of Tilt, was on notes that I had written for Paradigm that I felt didn't work, and it became a whole different character with a whole different storyline. And then, you know, from there you just kind of map things out and start seeing where certain stuff will go, but leave room in case something else pops up. And you know, the superhero. So yours is intergalactic. Ours is still very earthbound. So I haven't even touched intergalactic stuff with the superhero stuff. I don't know if I plan to, because I have a separate story that's actually a space epic. That's that Afterglow story.
But it's gonna be disconnected, I'm guessing, from the world of Tilt.
Yeah, it's gonna be disconnected. It's gonna be under our imprint, the Uprising imprint. Which is anything that's not in the Catalyst Comics superhero universe. But yeah, that'll be the first like space epic. That's it's gonna be fun. I mean, everything can be connected if you really want it to be, but
if you wanted it to.
I don't want it to be.
Because I know I've had a lot of people ask me that, like, is it hard to connect everything? I'm like, it's not hard. It's just,
how do you do it where it's effective?
Yeah,
that's the only question.
Yeah, that and continuity, keeping up with your continuity.
Yes,
which like the X-Men movies like really sell that. But keeping up with your continuity and making it effective, making it to where it makes sense, which is the reason why I say don't rush the connectivity, you know, the connective tissue of that world building. You know, I mean, you look at the natural world, like it took billions of years for humans to finally walk on the planet. So, I mean, if you try to create your world in 5 minutes, you're going to have a lot of mishaps and a lot of disconnected storylines and disconnected characters and all this other stuff. Like you have
to try not to put too many rules on your universe when you start it too, because then you'll write yourself into a hole, and you might have a cool idea for a concept later, but you know you're gonna have to retcon some of the stuff you already wrote. Then you mess up your continuity.
Don't reboot your story in 10 years. Just don't do it.
And there you have it. You heard what Pop said earlier. He's a lover of comics.
Right.
He's telling you from a
when you come up with a great concept, build on it, add to it, build on it, add to it. Because if we like it, we want more. Feed us more. We're your fans. Feed us more. If it's something that people are digging, if they're serious about liking it, add to it. Give them more. Keep giving them more. You're going to have lifelong fans. You got to think about it like that. Okay? Lifelong fans. Okay? Thor, my first comic superhero, the first one I was a fan of. Okay? For life. Issue 700. Yeah, they rebooted him a few times, her a few times. Froggy, whatever. I
forget about Frog Thor.
It's like I'm looking at it right now with Donny Cates. Oh my God, it's still got legs.
Well, it's because Donny Cates has legs.
But I mean, where did he come from? You know, it's like not that long ago, nobody knew who he was.
Then he dropped God Country and changed the game.
See what I'm saying? It's like, and he changed a whole lot of games. But he's done some great storylines. The Thanos storyline was awesome. But stops, goes, does something else. Stops, goes, does something else. I need Donnie to figure something out and build a world and keep me entertained for life. You see what I'm saying?
That's an even harder qualm in indie comics and small press is we don't. We don't have that kind of turnaround time. I think one of the big things in indie comics going forward too is understanding when your role's up, when it's time to move onto something else and let somebody else take the reins. Just like Donny Cates has the reins on some of these stories now. A lot of small press and indie comics, you want to hold on to all your properties. Well, hold on to them as the owner, but don't be afraid to let other people put their voice in there because it might connect with a new audience.
Yep.
Again, that's just like Donny Cates.
Cross promotion. It's like you bounce each other's fan bases. You bounce off each other's fan bases when somebody does a cover for your book. That brings his fans to look at your book,
right?
And your fans to look at his art, and everybody's fan base grows a little bit.
Yep.
That's what my Facebook group is about. The Comic Related Madness is about networking and promotion.
Right.
Okay.
I love people who self-promote because it makes it really easy for me to go out there and talk about your book. If you're out there talking about your book.
You got a Facebook group where you can self-promote? Because everybody hates it. Everybody's like, no self-promotion.
Oh, come on down.
I got to find that group.
Comic Related Madness.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
It's the best kept secret on Facebook, man, because we just don't let just anybody in. You have to pretty much be a comic fan or a comic, creator of some kind. It's like, I don't just hit that button. I'm not padding the numbers. I want you guys to have actual people that care about what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's a really great community. I mean, it really is.
Well, I know Tyr's coming from that aspect of just I'm in the same spot too, and it's why people don't see me on Facebook much anymore. It's just those groups are awful. most of the groups are off. There's too many rules across too many pages, and then you can't remember them all. Then you get kicked in the pants by one of them because God forbid you shared on a day that wasn't free Share Friday or something that no other page does, and you can't remember all the freaking rules.
There are some really cool admins out there of other groups because I'll tell you what, I shared this thing out to like 15 or 20 groups while we were talking of groups that I know are okay with me sharing CromCon and sharing what we're doing because they understand the concept of exposure is king, especially right now. Ain't nobody setting up no tables, man. You
Right.
need all the face you can get.
Right.
So that's what I do. That's exactly what I do. CromCon next weekend here. We still got a few spots open. 15-minute elevator pitch, bro. Whatever you got to talk about, 15 minutes. The schedule, I'll shoot you a link to the schedule if you want to grab a time slot.
Okay.
All good, man. That's what we do. It's all
Tyr
about
get back on Facebook. Don't make them do it.
It might be a good idea though, because everybody said I've been like strangleholding Instagram.
Nah, dude. Like we talked about it in our podcast, though. It was the audience is different. It's a completely different audience over on Instagram. It's hard to find the just consumer audience on Facebook. Most of it's creator base, which is great. I mean, they're great people you need to connect with and maintain that connection. But, you've had a lot of success finding consumers on Instagram.
Yes. Yep.
This dude's asking us what books we're working on at the moment. So go ahead. Hey,
Tyr,
don't you have a Black Friday sale going on right now?
Yes, I do.
Why don't you link that somewhere?
I do. That's why I'm going to Facebook. I'm going to put that link in there. But yes, I do. It's going till next Friday, actually. So it's going to be there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get my face to come back up in StreamYard. It's being weird. You see me? I can't though. I can't see me. It doesn't like me. Right for whatever reason.
You broke it, man.
I broke it. My face broke it. So like for me, my books that I have Cypher Team issue 1, Cypher Team issue 2. Both of those are done. Stars issue 1, Temple High issue 1, Orisha Exos issue 1, Orisha Exos issue 2, and Yamo Stigmata issue 1, and then Yamo Stigmata issue 2 is finished. That's gonna go on sale probably December because I still have some stuff to send out. And I don't want it to go on sale before I send it to the individuals who back the Kickstarter because
you're dang right.
Yeah, because I was not expecting what to happen, and it was like as soon as it happened, everything ceased. So I'm like, whoa, what's going on? I had a printer set up for the graphic novel version, and that fell through. Then the way I was shipping, that fell through. Like so many things was happening. So, but now my wheels are on. I did the maintenance on the car. My wheels are on now. I'm good to go. And start sending those out, but I don't want to put that on sale until folks get it. It has been read and it has been rated. It got 5 stars. It's a.
Wait, did you review your own book?
No, I didn't. I didn't
okay.
review my own book.
Right.
I didn't.
Just making sure. Man. Just asking.
Brett did it, and the reason why I had Brett do it because he is hard on me. He's the reason why I started changing my making my comic book covers better because he told me straight up. He was like, dude, I want to read them. He was like, when I looked at your old comic book covers, I didn't want to pick them up. And I'm like, oh, that hurts. I'm like, that hurts my heart. I was like, okay, I'll fix that. But that's the stuff you want to hear. I as a creator, I want to hear that, people telling me what it is that they like, what it is that they don't like, and then giving me actual reasons why they don't like certain things so that I can make changes and keep coming with more stuff and build my world, like if, and a lot, and for folks out there, that's a lot of things that really, really helps us creators with world building, the outside influence, which that's the reason why I'm glad Pops is up here because the outside influence really helps. It lets us know what it is we're doing right, what it is we're doing wrong. I guess some creators don't want to hear what's wrong. I personally am not that type of creator. As long as it's more than, oh, well, it sucked. Okay, well, what sucked? Oh, it just sucked. I don't want to hear that. But if you're telling me, well, the lettering could have been better or how could it have been better? You know what I'm saying? Like constructive criticism is what it's called. And that type of stuff helps us with our world building. Also, if you're a creator, don't be afraid of that either when it comes to world building. If someone is telling you a truth, even if it hurts, take that truth into consideration. It'll make life a lot easier as you're building.
Yeah.
This is not my project, but as you can see, I'm a star in it. This is Raj Mayhan's Mojo Rising. Kickstarter just ended. These will be coming out to people here real soon. Book 2 will be coming out, I think, in January. It's almost like 3/4 done already. These guys are working hard, and that's kind of how I got into being involved in having a group and everything was because Raj turned me into a comic book character.
That's awesome.
I'm serious, dude. It's like I've been a fan all my life, and then my friend just went, I'm gonna put you in my book. I'm like, what?
See, I had to turn myself into a comic book character.
It's crazy. Now, since then, my grandson, my 7-year-old grandson, created a character that's going to be in book 2. Crazy. I mean, I'm living the dream right now for being a comic collector all my life. This is crazy. Oh, there he is too. Speak of the devil. Did you create a character for Raj?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it going to be in Raj's book?
Yeah.
Yeah. He drew it. He made up the powers and everything, and then Raj and Manny just ran with it. They drew up a character. They wrote it into the book. It's like, amazing, huh? Isaac, say hi.
He seems super entertained.
He's going to be the guy taking over my group here in a few years. I promise.
That is awesome.
Nice.
Aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put out a better picture than my lion dude upstairs.
Oh, yeah? You're going to draw a better picture of him?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it, dude.
I dig that.
It's like my shirt
I dig
says,
that.
do better, be better.
Do better, be better. Yep. My shirt just says stars.
Well, the little
Same thing, right? Same thing.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Be a star. There you go.
Yeah.
Be a star.
The little drawing that he drew of the character like a year and a half ago or so, I showed to Raj. I still have it around here somewhere. I'll never get rid of it. It's the original drawing of Darkmane. But he looks a lot different now.
Too cool. There you
And he
go.
made him look a lot better, trust me.
So you drop that link in there, Catalyst.
Someone had to. Someone had to, and by God, I did it myself.
I put mine in there too. So hopefully Greg is in a giving mood and flashes it. There it is. Oh, why is it say
Guys, go check
It's
out
I
our
don't know. I
stuff,
don't know why
man.
it says.
That is so weird. It does not like
Yeah,
me. See, I told you.
Doesn't like you.
Facebook doesn't like me. See?
I know, man.
You
I
see,
know.
Aaron, this is what I'm talking about.
I'm on your side, dude. I'm on your side. Again, people, this is a big time for me. Nobody's seen me on Facebook in a while.
Yeah.
Well, you share this
yeah.
thing everywhere. So.
Oh, man.
For me, we got Paradigm, Tilt 1, Tilt 2, Welcome to Everville #1, Silhouette Shadow Games, and I think Fire by Night's on the website as well. Those last two are both the short stories. But yeah, those are all available on the website. We dropped all of our digital comics to 99 cents too.
Yep.
So people can grab those and see what the fuss is about. Tilts are biggin'. So we do have those things coming up. We have One Last Job, the espionage story, and since Matt said I could, tentatively we're going to be dropping that on February 1st is when it's going to hit
very nice.
Kickstarter, because that dude's been trucking along a lot faster than we thought. So that's going to be our first espionage story. It's going to be a short little 4-issue comic story, but a lot of fun. It's kind of a blend of like 007 and like the Bourne Identity feel. Lot of misdirection and drama, and it gives me a new world to play in. I have fun doing the superhero stuff, but I like this other stuff as well because it lets me stretch my creative legs a little bit. And then Tilt 4, that plan is summer. It's going to be our summer blockbuster. So wrapping up that whole first story arc and prepping for the trade. It's coming down the wire.
That is so dope. I wish I could make Stars Issue 2 a summer blockbuster, but I'll probably get beat up by the 2 cosplayers that I sponsor since they like both cosplay 2 characters from there. If I was like, yeah, to be out in the summer,
Just
I
do it.
wouldn't hear the end of
Do
that.
it, man.
Summer blockbuster.
It's your book.
I know, right?